Horatio says 'tis but a fantasy and will not let such belief take a hold of her. Therefore I have entreated her along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again this apparition come, she may approve her eyes and speak to it.
Shh. 'Twill not appear.
Well, sit we down a while and let us once again assail your ears with what we have 2 nights seen.
Well, sit we down, Bernardo. Speak of this.
Last night of all, when the
Peace! Break the oath, look where it comes again!
the same figure like the king's instead.
Thou art a scholar, speak to Horatio.
Looks he not like the king's? Mark it, Horatio.
Most like it harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurpest this time of night? By heaven I charge thee, speak!
It is offended.
See, it stopped away.
Stay and speak!
'Tis gone and will not answer.
Oh no, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is this not something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
For my God, I might not disbelieve without the true and sensible avouch mine own eyes,
Is it not like the king?
as thou art thyself. Soft little word comes again. I'll cross it though it blaspheme. If thou hast any use of sound or voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done for thee, that may to thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. Speak, stay and speak, Marcellus!
Shall I strike you with my partisan? 'Tis gone.
Who was about to speak when the cock crew?
And then it started like a guilty thing upon a fearful summons. But look, the morn on the russet mantle cloud walks over dewy yon eastward hill. Break rear watch up, and let us impart what we've seen tonight unto young Hamlet. Upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it as fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray. And I this morning know where we shall find him most convenient.
Though yet of Hamlet our dear brother's death, the memory still be green. We with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance to ourselves. Therefore our sometime queen, now our sister, have we taken to wife. To all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what is the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it?
My dread lord, your leave in favor to return to France, from which though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation. Yet now I must confess, that duty done, my thoughts and wishes been again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
Hath, my lord, and at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. And now, our cousin Hamlet and our son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
Why is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord, I am too much in the sun.
Oh, good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off. Do not fret with thy veiled lids, seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, nor customary suits of solemn black. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passes show, these but the trappings and suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable of you in your nature, Hamlet, to give your father these morning duties. But you must know that your father lost a father. That father lost his. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. Fie, 'tis a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne. And as for your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is the most retrograde to our design. And we beseech you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
'Tis a loving and fair reply. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come.
Oh, that this too sullied flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Oh God, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. It is an unweeded garden that grows to seed, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead, so excellent a king, so loving to my mother that he might not pretend the heaven winds visit her face too roughly. Must I remember? Why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet within a little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, married with my uncle, my father's brother. Within a month, she married. A most wicked speed to push with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not nor cannot come to any good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship.
I'm glad to see thee well, Horatio.
Say, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you, Marcellus.
My good lord.
But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
Well, I came to see your father's funeral, my lord.
I prithee do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Well, indeed, my lord, it did follow hard upon.
The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. I would I had met my dearest foe in heaven or ever I had seen that day. Horatio, my father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. I take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Ceasing your admiration for a while with an intent ear till I may deliver upon the witness of these two gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together have these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead waste of the middle of the night, thus encountered a figure like your father walks before them. With solemn march, slow and stately by them, thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear surprised eyes, distilled almost to jelly, with the act of fear stand dumb and speak not to him. This, to me, in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them the 3rd night kept the watch. Where, as they have delivered, the apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands are not more light.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
I did, my lord, but answer made it none. Once methought it lifted up its head like it would motion, like it would speak, but even then the morning cock crew loud, and it shrunk and hasted away and vanished from my sight.
'Tis very strange.
'Tis true, my honored lord, and we thought it right down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
Then saw you his face.
Oh, yes, my lord.
Looked he frowningly,
A countenance more in sorrow than anger.
pale or red,
Nay, very pale.
and fixed his eyes upon you.
Constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would much amaze you.
His beard was grizzled, no?
Like I saw in his life a sable silvered.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk
I
again.
warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. Whatsoever shall have tonight, give it an understanding, but no tongue. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty here, honor.
Farewell. My father's spirit in arms? All is not well. I doubt some foul play, where the night will come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
my necessaries are embarked, and Ophelia for Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor, keep it a toy and a fashion in blood. Forward, not permanent. Sweet, not lasting. The perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so?
Thinking no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor copel doth besmirch the virtue of his will. But you must fear his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as most unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice lies the health and safety of this whole state. Weigh what loss your honor may sustain if you lose your heart or your chaste treasure to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, dear sister. Fear it, Ophelia. Best safety lies in fear.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst himself the primrose path of Dalliance treads.
Fear me not. Ah, I stay too long. Here my father comes. Double blessing is double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second lead.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thought no tongue. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear that the opposite may beware of thee. Give each man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. This is for all. To thine own self be true, and it must follow. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell.
I most humbly do take my leave, my lord.
The time invests you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell. Ophelia, remember what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Very well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. What is between you? Give me up the truth!
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? You speak like a green girl unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should believe.
Mary, I will teach you! Tender yourself more dearly, or you'll just tender me a fool!
He hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Fashion, you call it? Go to! Go to!
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, you must not take for fire. From this time be something scanter of your maiden presence. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing like sanctified and pious bards, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, from this time forth, have you so much slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold.
It is a nipping and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. Then draws in the season where the spirit held his wont to walk. My lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health or goblin Danby. Be thy intent wicked or charitable, it comes in such a question will shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dano, answer me! Let me not burst in ignorance, but But tell me why the sepulchre where we saw thee quietly interred hath oped his ponderous and marble jaw to cast thee up again. Why is this? Wherefore? What should we do?
It beckons you to go away with it, some impartment it desire to you alone.
Look with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground, but do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak. Then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee. And as for my soul, what can it do to that being a thing immortal as itself? It waves me forth again, I'll follow it.
What if it tempt thee to the flutter of a dreadful summit off the cliff, and there sings some other horrible form and draw you into madness?
It waves me still, go on, I'll follow thee.
You shall not go, my lord.
Hold off your hands!
Ruled, you shall not go.
Unhand me! By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me, I say away! Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. It's not that thus to obey him.
Have after, but to what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct it.
Nay, let's follow.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Marvel with me.
I will.
My hour almost come, when I the sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but let thy ears hear what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge, when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fasten fires, till the crimes done by days of nature are burned purged away. If thou didst thy dear father love, revenge is most foul and unnatural murder.
Murder.
Murder most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know it that I may sweep to my revenge.
I find at, now have it here. 'Tis given out that, sleeping within my orchard, a serpent stung me, and so the whole year of Denmark is by a fulgent process my death, rankly abused. But know thou no truth? Thy serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul. My uncle.
I, that incestuous, that adulterous beast, one to shame the lust of my own secret virtuous queen. Oh, Hamlet, what a fallen knowledge is there. From me was dignity of love, when hand in hand, even with the vows I made her in marriage. Sorry, methinks I said it on the air. Brief let me be, sleeping within my orchard, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole the cursed heaven up, and in a vial did he pour the leprous distilment. Thus was I, by a brother's hand of life, of crown, of queen once dispatched, cut off. O horrible, most horrible! Thou hast natured me, bear none. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. Howsoever thou pursuest this end, tame not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother all. Leave her in heaven. Farewell, Lois. Remember me.
Oh, you host of heaven or earth! What else? Remember thee? Yea, from the table of my memory I will wipe away all trivial fond records, and thy commandment alone shall live within the book and the volume of my brain. Yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain, smiling. Damn me, villain! So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word, I have sworn it.
My lord, Lord Hamlet. What
How
news,
is
my
my
lord?
noble
Good,
lord?
my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
No, I, my lord.
How say you then? You'll be secret.
I, by heaven, my lord.
As your friends, scholars, and soldiers, give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord?
Never make known what you have seen here tonight.
We will not, my lord.
Nay. But swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Upon my sword.
We have sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear!
Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear by his sword!
Within a night that this is wonder strange.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come here as before never, so help you mercy. How strange or odd some'er I bear myself, as I perchance shall think me to put an end to disposition on that you, at such time seeing me, never shall note that you know aught of me. This do swear, so grace and mercy at your most need help you. Rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen, let's go in together, and still your fingers on your lips, I pray. Cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Come, let's go together.
How now, Ophelia? What's the matter?
My lord, I have been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, the Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, stockings fouled, ungartered, pale as his shirt, and with a look so piteous in purport as if he had been loosened out of hell to speak of horrors, before me.
Mad for thy love?
I do not know, my lord, but I truly do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. And with his other hand thus over his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went, and to their last bent their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings. What? Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I have repelled his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I feared he did but trifle and meant to rack thee. Come, go we to the king. This must be known, which being kept close, might move more grief to hide than hate utter love. Come.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we did much long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? What it should be more than the death of his father that thus hath put him so far from the understanding of himself, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both, being of so young days brought up with him, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so by your companies to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much from occasion as you may glean, whether aught to us afflicts him, that thus opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am too there is not living to whom he more adheres. If it will please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, then your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
We both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern, and I do beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son. Go and bring them where Hamlet is.
Heavens make our presence and practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
My lord, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and to my gracious king. And I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that I do long to hear. He tells me, dear Gertrude, that he hath found the head and source of all your son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main, his father's death and our over-hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift him.
Since brevity is the soul of wit and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for what is it but to define true madness as nothing else but mad? But let that go, that he's mad, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true. Mad let us grant him then, and now remains that we find the very cause of this effect, or rather say, the cause of this defect, for this effect effective comes by cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Her pen. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who, in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now, gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear it thus. In her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Good madam, stay a while. I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best, believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, Hamlet. This, in obedience, hath my daughter shown me.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so. But what might you think if I had looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak, Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescripts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he repelled, fell into a sadness, thence to a fast, thence into a watch, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be very like.
Hath there been such a time I have positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise?
Not that I know of. How may we try it further?
Sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter.
We will try it.
Alas, look where the poor wretch comes reading.
Away. I do beseech you both away. I'll board you presently. Oh, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Aye, sir. To be honest as this world goes is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That is very true, my lord.
For if the sun breed maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrion.
Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
How say you by that? Still harping on my daughter? Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone. I'll speak to him again. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. I will leave and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between him and my daughter. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all, except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
God save you, sir.
My honored lord.
Ah, my excellent
Excellent, good friends. How dost thou, Guildenstern, Rosencrantz? Good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy.
What news?
None but that the world's grown honest.
It's in this doomsday near, but your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
To me it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one? 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
I could be bound in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams.
We'll wait upon you.
No such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you as an honest man, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me.
What should we say, my lord?
Anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, and there's a kind of confession in your looks which your modesties have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you by the rights of our fellowship, be even and direct with me whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay, and I have an eye of you. Thou love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why, so shall my anticipation prevent your discovery and your secrecy to the king and queen mold to no feather. I have of late lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises, and indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, look you why, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, might appear the foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man, how noble in reason, and form, and moving, how express and admirable. Man delights not me. No, nor women neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh then when I said man delights not me?
My lord, to think, if man delights you not, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We carded them on the way, and hither are they to offer you service.
What players are they?
The ones you were wont to take such delight in, the tragedians of the
Do
city.
they hold the same estimation they did when I was in the city? Are they so followed?
No, they stay in the wonted place.
How comes it? Do they grow rusty?
No, indeed they do not.
Well, there are the players.
Gentlemen, you're welcome to Elsinore. You're welcome.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Mark you, that great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling clouds.
Happily he is the second time come to them, for they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players. Mark it. Are you say right, sir, on Monday morning? To us then indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz.
Upon my honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, or tragical, comical, historical, pastoral.
Oh, Jephthah, judge of Israel, what a treasure hadst thou!
What a treasure had he, my lord?
Why, one fair daughter and no more, the which he loved passing well.
Still on, my daughter.
You're welcome, masters, welcome all. I'm glad to see thee well. Your face is valiant since I saw thee last. Comes thou to beard me in Denmark? My young lady and mistress, by your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when I saw thee last. Like the altitude of a choping, pray God your voice be not cracked within the ring. Masters, you are all welcome. Good, my lord, see the players well bestowed.
Come, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll have a play tomorrow. Does that hear me, old friend? When you played the murder of Gonzaga.
Aye, my lord.
Very well. We'll have it tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study some speech of a dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that, lord, and look you mock him not. Friends, I leave you tonight. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Aye. So goodbye to you. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. I thought it was most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words. I have heard that guilty creature sitting at a play by the very cunning of the scene, but Struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have the players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. If he do blench, I know my course. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly in all his days of quiet, with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him for to be sounded, but with the crafty madness keeps aloof when we would bring him onto some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his disposition.
Did you essay him to any pastime?
Madam itself allowed that certain players be wrought on the way. As these we told him, and there did seem in him a sort of joy to hear of it. They are here about the court, and as I think they've already ordered this knight to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose into these delights.
You shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet thither, that he, as if 'twere by accident, may hear affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, we so bestow ourselves, that, seeing unseen, we may frankly judge of the encounter, and gather if it be the affliction of his love or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you, and for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope that your virtue will bring him to his wonted way again to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
I hear him coming. Let's withdraw.
Or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep. More. And by his sleep to say that we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep perchance to dream. Aye. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of times, but that he might as quiet as make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death makes us rather bear those ills than fly to others that we know not of? Thus conscience makes cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought. Soft you now, fair Ophelia. Nay, thy orisons be all my sins remembering.
Good, my lord. What is your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well,
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
no, not I. I never gave you aught.
My lord, I know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed to make the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again forth. To the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. Bear, my lord.
Oh, are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, be better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty can translate beauty to his likeness. I did love you. Once.
Indeed, Lord, you made me believe.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish it, but I love you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck than I thought to put them in imagination, to give them shape or time to act them in. We are errand knaves all, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
Home, my lord.
Let him play the fool nowhere but in his own house. If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery! And if thou wilt needs marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. I have heard of your paintings too well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble and you lisp. You nickname God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to. I'll no more on it. It's made me mad. To nunnery, go.
Oh, what a noble mind is overthrown. And I am ladies most deject and wretched to have sucked the honey from his music vows. Now see that noble and most sovereign reason. Out of time and harsh, oh woe is me to have seen what I have seen. To see what I see.
Love? His affections do not that way tend. Nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. He shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute. What think you on it?
It shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him to where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you. Trippingly on the tongue, do not saw the air too much with your hand thus, but
use all gently, for in the very torrent tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness.
I warrant, Your Honor.
Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. And there be players that I have seen play and heard others praise that have so strutted and bellowed that I have thought some of nature's journeymen had made men and not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
Well, I hope we haven't formed that indifferently of us, sir.
Reform it all together and let those that play your inner clans speak no more than is set down for them. Go, make you ready.
What ho, Horatio?
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
There be a play tonight before the king. One scene if it comes near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death, I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, observe my uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a foul ghost that we have seen. My imaginations are as damned as Vulcan's stithy. Give him heedful note, for I mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord.
They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith of the chameleon's dish. I eat the air promised crammed. You cannot feed cake and sow.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine. Now. My lord, you played once in university, you said.
'Tis most true, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
It was a rude part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready.
Nay, stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
Oh, no, good mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie on your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean, my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between a maid's legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye.
What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long. Nay, then let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Heavens, died 2 months ago and not forgotten yet? And there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year. But we will know by this fellow. The players cannot keep counsel. They'll tell all.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this the prologue or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
As a woman's love.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round Neptune's salt wash, and Tellus' orbed ground. 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen about the world have times 12 30s been since love our hearts. And Hymen did our hands unite, communal, in the most sacred bands.
But woe is me, you are so sick of late, so far from cheer in your former state, that I distrust you. Yet, though I distrust, discomfort you, my lord, and nothing must. Now what my love is, who hath made you know? As my love is sized, my fear is so.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers, their functions leave to do. And you shall live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and haply one is kind, for husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love needs be a treason in my breast, and second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first? A second time I kill my husband dead, is when second husband kisses me in bed.
So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
But here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once a widow, ever I be wife.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits grow dull, and fain I would beguile this tedious day with sleep.
Madam, I like you this play.
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Do you hear the arguments? Is there no offense in it?
No, they do but jest, poison and jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Married out tropically. Now, this play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name, his wife Baptista. You shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that? Your king and we that have free souls, they touches us not. Like gall jade wince, its withers are unwrung. This one is Lucianus, nephew to the king. Begin, murderer, pox, leave thy damnable faces and begin. Come, the croaking raven doth bellow for revenge.
Thoughts black, hands apps, drug spits in time of green. Confederate season, else no creature seen. Thy natural magic had dire property on wholesome life, and upstroke immediately.
He poisons him in the garden for his estate. Story is extant and written in very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzaga's wife.
The king rises.
What, frighted with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give over the play!
Give me light.
Lights! Lights! Lights!
Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost word for 1,000 pounds as proceed.
I do very well know him.
Upon the talk of poison.
Very well, my lord.
Good, my lord. Vouchsafe me a word with you.
Madam, a whole history.
The king, sir, is in his retirement, marvelous distempered.
With drink, madam.
No, my lord, with choler.
Then your wisdom should show itself richer to signify this to the doctor for me to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into more choler.
Good, my lord. Put your discourse into some frame and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, madam. Pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You're welcome.
Nay, good, my lord. This courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon in my return shall be the end of my business.
Madam, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer, my wit's diseased. But, sir, such answer as I can make you shall command, or, as you say, my mother, therefore no more but to the matter. My mother, you say.
Then thus she says that your behavior hath struck her into amazement and admiration.
A wonderful son that can so astonish a mother. But is there no sequel at the heels of this mother's admiration in part?
She desires you speak with her in her closet ere you go to bed.
Shall obey were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you did once love me.
And do still by these pickers and stealers.
My lord, what is your cause of distemper? You do surely bar upon your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Aye, sir, but while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. The recorders, will you play upon this pipe?
Oh, my lord, I cannot.
I pray.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech
I know
you.
no touch of it, my
And
lord.
it is as easy as lying. Govern these vintages with your finger and thumb. Give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent
These
music.
cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you how unworthy a thing you would make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. Do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Dost thou see yonder cloud almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
I will come to my mother by and by. If only to the top of my bent. I will come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Tis now the very witching time of night when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now can I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. But soft, now to my mother. A heart, lose not thy nature. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
I like him not, nor sentence safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you.
I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and he shall along with you to England. The terms of our state may not endure hazards so near as doth hourly grow out of his brows. Arm you, I pray you. To this speedy voyage.
We will haste us.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the process. I'll warrant she'll tax him home. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. What if this cursed hand were thickened in itself with brother's blood? Is there not sweet rain enough in the heavens to wash it white as snow? My fault is past! Oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? No, that cannot be. For I am still possessed of that for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned, and yet I retain the offense. O wretched state! O bosom black as death! O limed soul that's struggling to be free art more encaged! Help, angels, make us say! Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it, Pat? Now he is a-praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so I am revenged. That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do the same villain send unto heaven? And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Upsword, and know thou more horrid hent. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed at game, swearing about an act that has no relish of salvation in it, then tripping, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul may be as damned and black as hell, whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear within your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll be placed, so please you. Pray, be round.
Mother! Mother! Mother!
Fear me not, withdraw. I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why? How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgotten me?
No, with the rude, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, sit you down. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What will thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Help!
What? Help! Help! Help!
Now, a rat!
Help! 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 Oh! Oh!
What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed this is!
A bloody deed, good mother, almost as bad as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Has kill a king?
My lady, it was my word. How wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell, I took thee for thy better. Leave the wringing of your hands.
Please sit you down and let me wring your heart!
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue and noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair form of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicer's oaths.
I mean, what acts that roar so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. Look you, what a grace was seated on this brow. This was your husband. Look you now what follows, like a mildewed ear blasting on his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? What devil was it that thus hath cozened you at hood and blind? Oh shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mute it in a matron's bones. To flaming youth let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire.
Speak to me no more. Thou turnest my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my ears.
A murderer and a villain. A slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord. A vice of kings, a godburst of the empire and the rule that from his shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket. A king of shreds and patches. See me hover over you through wings. You heavenly guards, what would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
You do not come your tardy son to chide that. Lapse in time and passion, let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to wet thy almost blood-tainted purpose. Oh, look, amazed about my mother sits. Step between her and her fighting soul. Conceive of the weakest body, strongest worst. Speak to her, Hannah.
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy with the incorporeal air to hold discourse? Oh, gentle son, whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoined. Preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then when I want will have true color. Tears. Her chance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear.
No, nothing but ourselves.
And look you now how it steals away my father and his habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now out of the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. It's not madness that I have uttered. Mother, for love of grace, confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor.
And that thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it and live the pure with the other half. Good night, but go not to my uncle's bed. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. Once more, good night, and when thou is desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord, I do repent. Heaven hath pleased pleased would so to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him and will answer well the death I gave him. I must stay in England. You know that.
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed, and my 2 schoolfellows whom I will trust as I will Adder's Fang, they must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall send me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighboring room. Mother, good night.
My own lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and the wind when both contend, but James the mightier, in his lawless fit, behind the arrows hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, and in this brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? Where's he gone?
To draw forth the body he hath killed, he weeps for what is done.
Gertrude, come away. No sooner shall the sun the mountains touch, than shall have him hence. And this vile deed we must with all our skill and countenance, both countenance and excuse. O Guildenstern, Hamlet in madness, and Polonius slain. We have dragged his body from his mother's closet. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you, haste this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends and let them know what we need to do and what's untimely done. Gertrude, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed.
Present, my lord!
Soft what noise? Who calls on him?
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust whereto 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it, and knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
Body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Bring me to him. Hi, fox, and all that.
How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? It must not we put the strong law on him. He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not in their judgment but their eyes. The sudden sending of him away must seem deliberate pause. How now, what hath befallen?
Where the dead body is hidden, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
Guarded, my lord, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Bring in the lord.
but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are even at him.
Alas, alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing. But to show you how a king may go of progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Sent thither to see. If your messenger find not him there, seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs and into the lobby.
Go, seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety must send me hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. Everything is bent for England.
For England.
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So it would be, if thou knewest our purposes.
Aye. Should be a cherub that sees them, but come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Mother and father is the man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother. Come. For England.
I'll have immense tonight! For all is sealed and done that will salutes on the affair. In England, if my love thou hold'st out, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign purpose, which imports at full by letters congruent to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, I'll wear my haps. My joys may ne'er begin.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hymns and beats her heart, and spurns enviously at straws. She speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing.
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjections into ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I, your true love, know from another one, with his cockle hat and staff and sandal shoes?
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you. Pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. And his head a grass creature, and his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia!
Pray you, mark. White fish out as mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lord.
Lord, oh, sweet flower, which you went to the ground did not go into the shower.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God dill you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her.
Pray, let's have no word of this, but going to ask you what it means to say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, and all in morning betide, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. My
shall know of it.
And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good
Follow her
night.
close, I pray you. Give her good watch. Oh, this is the poison. Springs all from her father's death, and behold. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude. Sorrows come, they come not spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain, next your son gone. The people muddied thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death. The poor Ophelia divided from herself in her fair judgment. And last, her brother has secretly come from France.
Alack, what noise is this?
Attend, where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. Young Laertes arrests his head or bears your officers. The rabble call him a lord, they cry. Choose me, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues. Since the god Laertes shall be king, Laertes king.
Hold that vile king! Give me my father!
Calmly, good Laertes.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devils, conscience and grace to the most profoundest pit. I dare damnation.
Who shall stay?
My will, not all the world. I'll load my arm and like the life-running pelican, repass them with my blood.
Now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it.
What noise is this? Oh, heavens. He tried my brains. Dear maid, kind sister. Ophelia! Is possible a young maid's wits be as mortal as an old man's life?
For him, their face on the bier. In his brave reign, in his fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst whisper revenge, it could not move thus.
You must sing a down, a down. And you must call him a down, huh? I'll have a really concert.
This nothing's more than matter.
Rosemary, for you. That's for remembrance. Pray you will remember. And here's pansies, that's for thoughts.
A documented madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
Here's fennel and columbine for you. Here's rue for you. And then here's some for me. We may call it herb or grace of Sundays. You must wear your rue with a difference. Oh, here's a daisy for you. Give you some flowers, but they withered on when my father died. You see, he had a good head.
Thought, afflictions, passion, hell itself she turns to favor, to prettiness.
And will he not come again? Will he not come again? He is gone! Go to thy deathbed! He will never come again! He is gone! He is gone!
must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and I. If by direct or collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown and all we call satisfaction, to you. But if not, be you content to lend us your patience, and we shall jointly labor to give your soul its due content.
Let it be so. 'Tis his means of death, his obscure funeral cry to be heard as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I may call it in question.
So it shall be. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you, go with me.
Horatio! What are they that would speak with me?
Seafaring men, madam. They say they have letters for you.
Let them come in. I do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted from, if not from Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, madam.
Let him bless thee too.
He shall, madam, and it please him. There's a letter for you, madam. It come from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am let to know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt overlook this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate, a very warlike appointment, gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. These good fellows will bring me where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them, I am asked to tell thee, farewell, he that knowest thine Hamlet. Come, I will give you way, for if these your letters, and do with the speeder, you shall direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since you have heard and with a knowing ear that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so criminal and so capital in nature.
Oh, for two special reasons. The queen his mother lives almost by his looks, and for myself she is so conjunctive to my life and soul that I could not but by her. The other motive is the great love the general gender bear him, who convert his gyves to graces, that my arrows would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I have aimed them.
So I have a noble father lost, and a sister driven to desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. We loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that I hope will teach you to imagine. Now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. Peace to your majesty, and this to the queen.
From Hamlet? But who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. She received them, and I brought them.
Very well. Laertes, you shall hear this. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. Are all the others come back? Or is this just some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Naked. And in a postscript here he says alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in him, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, will you be ruled by them?
Aye, my lord.
Then I shall work him under an exploit that he should not choose but fall. And of his death no wind of blame shall breed. Even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, but rather that you could devise it so that I may be the order.
Laertes, was your father dear to you?
Why ask you this?
What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Hamlet returned shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall wager your excellence. Put a wager on your heads. He being remiss, most generous, and free of all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice requite him for your father.
My lord, I'll do it. And for this purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank, so mortal that no cataplasm under the moon can save the thing that is but scratched from with death. I'll touch my point to this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. If this should fail, 'twere better not to say. Therefore this project should have a back or second that might hold if this did blast him. Soft, let me see. We'll put a solemn wager on both your comings. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereupon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, then our purpose may hold there. But stay. What noise?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow grows ascant the brook. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. There on the pendant boughs, her cornet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. But her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, and a while they bore her up, but long it could not be till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much water has to have poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu. I will speechify the fame of Blaze, but that this folly drowns it!
Come, Gertrude, let's follow. I'm trying to do to calm his rage. I fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is, therefore make her grave straight. The crowner has sat on her and finds its Christian burial.
But how can that be? Unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be se offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I were to drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. And an act hath three branches. To act, to do, to perform. Ergo she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but here you go.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. The man go to the water and drown himself. It is willy-nilly he goes, mark you that. But if the water come to the man and drown him, he drowns not himself. Ergo, he who is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out to a Christian burial.
Why there thou sayest? And the more pity that the great folk in this world should have countenance to hang or drown themselves, more than they're even Christian. I'll put a question to thee.
Go to?
What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker. For the frame that outlives 1,000 tenants?
I like thy wit well, in good faith. The gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those who do ill. Now thou dost ill to say that the gallows is built stronger than the church, ergo the gallows does well to thee. Ha! To it again come.
Who builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
Aye, tell me that, and unyoke.
Mary, now I can tell.
To it.
Mas, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend his case with beating. And when you ask this question next, say a grave maker, for the houses he builds last till doomsday. Go, get thee in, and fetch me a stoup of liquor. In youth when I did love, methought it was a very sweet to contrast. Ah, I me behold, methought it was a nothing, me.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business? He sings in grave making.
But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me into this land, if I had never been such.
Had the skull had a tongue and it could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder.
A pickaxe and a spade for shrouding sheet. Oh, what bit of place to be made for such a guest as meet.
There's another. I'll speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a bit of clay to be made for such a guest as meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
Thou lie out on it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. As for my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Well, thou liest in it to be in it, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
None neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir. But rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute it is. We must speak by the car, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been grave maker?
Of all the days in the year. I came to it the very day the young Hamlet was born. He who was mad and sent to England.
Aye, Mary, why was he sent into England?
Why, because he is mad. He is to recover his wits there. Or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him. There are men as mad as he.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he be not rotten before he die, he will last you some 8 or 9 months. Now a tanner will last you 9 months.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, because his hide is so tanned with his trade, he'll keep out water a great while. And water, sir, is a sore decayer of your horse and dead body. Now here is a skull, lying you in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and man fellow it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
That same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This.
In that.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A man of infinite jest and most excellent fancy. He had borne me on his back 1,000 times. Here hung those lips I've kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your gibes now, your gambles, your songs? I prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What is it, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked on this fashion in the earth?
E'en so.
And smelt so?
E'en so.
Look soft, look soft.
Here come King and Queen, the courtiers. And how is this they follow him with such mammoth rites? This doth betoken the course they followed it with desperate hand fordo its own life. Couch me a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, very noble youth, mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far and large as we have warranted. Her death was doubtful, and she should, in ground unsanctified, been lodged.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, and such restituers to peace parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel my sister shall be when thou liest howling.
The fair Ophelia.
I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's bride. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewn my grave.
Oh, treble woe, fall 10 times treble upon the cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sins deprive thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I've caught her once more and I'm on. Now pile your dust upon the quick and the dead, till of this flight a mountain you have made!
Why did you use great bear such an emphasis?
The devil take thy soul! Thou prayest not well!
I pray you take thy fingers from my throat!
I will fight with him upon this field until the eyelids will no longer wag! I loved Ophelia!
40,000 brothers cannot with all their quantity of love make up my sum. Show me what thou would do.
He's mad,
Who would weep? Who would fight? Who would fast? Who would tear thyself drink up I still eat a crocodile? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. I will rant as well as thou.
This is mere madness.
Hear you, sir, what is the reason that you used me thus? But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. Cow will mew and dog will have his day.
Follow him, Horatio. Such your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Gertrude, set some watch over your son. Tonight this grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet thereby we shall see. Till then in patience our proceedings be.
So much for this, madam. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord?
Madam, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Up from my cabin groped I to find out, then gingered their packet and had my desire. Making so bold to unfold their grand commission where I found Horatio, a royal knavery, an exact command that my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear now how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. Or wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
I, my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that without debatement further he should those bearers put to sudden death.
How was it sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinant. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal. I I folded up the writ in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. And now the next day was our sea find, went to this was sequent, thou knowest already.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it?
I mean, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. And their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. I'll court his favors, but sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace, who comes here?
Your lordship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfall?
No, my good lord.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it with all diligence of spirit. I'll put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship, but it is very hot. My lord, his majesty has bade me to signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter—
I do beseech you, remember?
Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman of most excellent differences. He is a card or calendar of most gentry, for ye shall find in him the continent of what a gentleman would see.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
Of him, sir.
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes
I dare not confess that, lest I compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons. But, well—
The king, sir, hath waged with them 6 Barbary horses, against the which he has impawned, as they take it, 6 French rapiers and poniards, with their assigns as girdle, hangers, and so.
6 Barbary horses against 6 French swords? That's the French bet against the Danish. Why is this all impawned, as you call it?
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on you 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
Sir, if it please his majesty, let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold his purpose. I'll win for him, and I can. Not I will gain nothing but my shame in these few odd hits.
Shall I deliver you even so?
I am constant to my purposes. They follow the king's pleasure.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
In happy time.
The queen would desire you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
You will lose, my lord?
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But it is no matter. It is but foolery.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall the repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Let be.
Come, Hamlet. Come take this hand from mine.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardon it as you are a gentleman. What I have done, I here proclaim was madness. In this audience, let my disclaiming from a purpose evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow over the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, but in terms of my honor, I must stand aloof till I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. Till that time, I do receive your offered love, like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely and will this brother's wage frankly pay. Give us the foils, come.
Come, one for me.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Very well, your lord. Your grace has placed the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, and since he is better, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This one likes me well.
Set me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet should give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup a union shall he place. Come, let's begin. And you, the judges, bear wary eye.
Begin.
One.
No!
Judgment.
Hits, very couple hits. Again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout for. Set it by a while. Come.
Begin.
Another hit. What say you?
A touch, a touch. I do confess.
Our son shall win.
These fashions come, Hamlet. Take my napkin, rub thy brow. Queen carouses to thy pleasure, Hamlet.
Good, madam.
Gertrude! Do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
Let me wipe thy face.
My lord. I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
Though it is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Oh, say you so. Come on. Begin. Nothing either way. I got you now.
Part them there, incense!
Nay. Come again.
What's the queen there, ho?
Bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
I am justly slain by my own treachery.
How's the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No, no, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. Oh, the drink. I am poisoned.
What a villainy.
Let the doors be locked! Treachery, seek it out! Hamlet! Hamlet, it is here. Thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. Indeed, there is not now. The treacherous instrument is there, unmated and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me, lo, where I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's slain. I can do no more. The king's to blame.
Point and venom too. Venom to thy work.
Oh, yet defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. Drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. Hamlet, exchange forgivenesses with me. Mine and my father's death will not on thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. Thou livest, Horatio. Report me and my cause right to the unsatisfied. Oh God, Horatio, what a
wounded name shall I leave behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Die, Horatio. I cannot live to hear the news from England. So tell him, with the occurrence more and less which I have solicited, the rest is
Thou cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why do the drums come hither?
Where is his sight?
What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless. That should give us hearing to tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth. I had the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. So you took upon this bloody question, you from England here arrive. Give order that these bodies get placed high on stage to the view. Then let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, unnatural acts of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, and deaths put on by cunning and forced cause. All this I can truly deliver. Let four captains bear Hamlet like a soldier onto the stage. Take the bodies up. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go! Bid the soldiers shoot.